Hi guys, welcome back. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit more in depth about the Louis Vuitton monogram 6 key ring holder. I had a few questions about that on Facebook and people saying that they love it and they need it in their life, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and show you some more about it and give you some more details, and that way you can make an even more informed decision. So first things first, this retails for $260. And back in the day, fashionfile.com, I'll link it below again, they used to do no tax because they didn't have an actual brick and mortar store here in Texas, which was phenomenal. I got a ton of purses and that kind of stuff through there at a really deep discount because I also didn't have to pay tax. All I had to pay was shipping, and actually even that I didn't have to pay all the time because they were a big enough amount that they would usually do free ground shipping. So it was such a good deal. They don't do that anymore. They've now partnered with Neiman Marcus, and they have just a little like desk set up at the Neiman Marcus here in Dallas at North Park. They don't have any inventory there. All they do is buy and then they ship it out for you. So if you're selling to Fashion File, they'll take it in person right there and then send it to their headquarters. They're, I believe, California, and I know that they have a space in New York now and a couple other places. And now they're just growing, and now that they've partnered with Neiman Marcus, they're everywhere Neiman Marcus is, as far as I understand it to be. So this was like a steal of a deal to get it for $250, no tax, no shipping. It was in box. I think it had a dust bag with it. But regardless, it's just like I said, my favorite piece that if I had to choose one small leather good in my collection to keep and have to get rid of the rest, this would be the one because it just does so much. So yeah, it retails for $260. I paid $250 there. Now that's for the monogram and the Damier Azur and Damier Ebene. Prints. So that's the checkered. You've seen the checkered. I think it's white and grayish blue, and then a dark brown and lighter brown. So those two prints. Well, the empreinte leather is like a embossed. It's a leather piece, and it has the embossed LVs on it, and it's like they're beautiful. Just a beautiful leather work. So those are $390 plus tax on the website, and then there's an epi leather, which is $320 on the website. So that's LouisVuitton.com for the US anyway. So more about this. This is, and I have to look at this here, the length is 4.25 inches. The height is 2.75 inches, and the width is 0.5 inches. So it's really I mean, you can see I can fit it in my hand easily. And it has the brass snap button here and the cross grain leather interior. And then if I hold that up there, you can see it has the stamped Louis Vuitton Paris, and I believe this one says made in France underneath it right there. So it's just a beautiful piece. The button says Louis Vuitton. I don't think it's gonna focus on it. Okay. The button there says Louis Vuitton around the edge of it. And then like I showed you guys the other day, it has a slot back here where you can put cards, whether it be your driver's license, credit card, debit card, whatever you want to do. And then these keys, you can see it also says Louis Vuitton across there, across the top. It's etched into it. So this piece is kind of difficult. So you see this tab here and this tab here. You have to push down on it and then push this bar out. And then that is how you can remove these little hooks from it. They come up and out like that. So that's how you can change those out and move them around. That's how you can put a key on them. I have my car key. I have my WW weight loss charms. I have the 5, 10, and 25 charms. And then I have a key, but I'm not really sure what that goes to my parents' house probably. And then this is the little key for a Louis Vuitton lock that I have. I mean, that is really the gist of this piece. It's this beautiful gold hardware, as you saw. It just, like I said, it's just so easy. If you can get the keys to lay right, like mine sticks out a little bit just because it's such a big bulky key. If I were to put it up in the middle of it, it would bulge out here, and I feel like create an issue, like a issue with the resin glazing. You can kind of see, I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of peeling a little bit right here, and it's peeling a little bit right here. So where those folds and creases are, and the same on this side and this side, just a tiny, tiny bit on that end. That's kind of like the main problem with Louis Vuitton pieces. A lot of times when it has that resin glazing around the edges there, it starts to crack if it gets too dry, if it wasn't done right. They've had some recalls on some of their purses and small other good pieces because they're having cracking issues. But if it becomes a known issue, I've heard both things. I've heard that Louis Vuitton has been so great and that they reached out to all their clients and told them, you know, hey, well, you bought it here at the boutique, so bring it back in if you're having those cracking issues and we'll check it, and then we'll just swap it for another piece. And then I've heard other people say, you know, no, they didn't have luck. Their SA, their sales associate, wasn't helpful in that regard, and so they ended up just having to, I mean, I guess get it repaired. Sometimes they'll just have it repaired. I don't know. Since I purchased all of mine pre-loved, I make sure to read the description and look at the pictures a million times over before I actually purchase it, because I want to make sure, again, that I'm getting the best bang for my buck and getting the best deal. And I want it to be in the best condition it can be. And now I understand when you're paying less than the retail price, you're going to get a little bit less quality, but sometimes that's not true. Sometimes they've had inventory. Keeks, Fashion File, Real. I know eBay has a, what do they call that? Like certified luxury section that you could look at. I feel like there's somewhere else. Etsy has some on there. Some of those places I would be concerned about buying them without getting them authenticated. And I will link below. I use Pro Authenticators. They have been amazing. They're really quick. Typically, I think the most time they've ever taken to authenticate anything via pictures for me was like 2 hours. And it was great. And all you do is you pay Pro Authenticators through PayPal. And then I guess I believe I just sent a screenshot of the payment going through, and I sent that to them on Facebook. And you can email it and you can talk to them in other facets, but I always choose to do through Facebook Messenger. It seemed to be the fastest. I would send them the receipt, and then I would send them the pictures of the bag, and they would respond and say, thank you, we've received it. We'll be with you in just a minute. And usually, like I said, within 2 hours, that has been my experience with them. They've gotten back to me, and they've just been great. And I mean, everything that I've had authenticated has come back good. That it was legit. I was gonna find, I just remembered to, you probably won't be able to see it, but every Louis Vuitton piece has numbers, has a date code. I don't know where it is on this. It's in there somewhere. No, I don't know where it is on this piece particularly. I'll have to look that up and then find it in there and show you guys in a different clip. But if you can see it, I don't even know if you'll be able to see it, but every piece has a date code, and that's part of what they use to authenticate, but they also look at a whole bunch of other different factors. There are some things that are so subtle that, like, I don't even know how they can find that, like, to be the thing that sets it apart and makes it legit or not, but I trust them. So anyway, you can have it authenticated. I have had every piece that I've ever sold, I've had authenticated, even though I knew it was a legit piece, because I wanted to be sure that when I'm handing a piece over to somebody and they're paying me a large amount of money, that it is a legitimate item. And since I know that it is, I'm not ever that concerned, but I go ahead and do that, and that brings them peace of mind. That brings me peace of mind. And then I just hand that, like I print out the email that I get from Pro Authenticators and I hand that over with the purse or the wallet or whatever it was. And I give them all of that information. So, yeah. Okay, so I found the date code. It's in there up underneath that card holder slot in the back where the keys are. So I can't actually read what it says, but it's in there. So I hope I answered any questions you guys may have had about that. If you have any other questions, put them in the comments below. If you guys have any Louis Vuitton pieces, what's your favorite piece and why? Let me know in the comments below, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.